Hello, and welcome to the Swing into Spring YouTube hop here at Sweet November Stamps. We are celebrating the newest clear release with our kind of annual YouTube hop that we do with every clear release. And so starting today on Sunday, we April 13th, me and a few of my fellow design team members at Sweet November Stamps have posted videos using some of the stamps from the new Swing into Spring collection. And we are very excited to be sharing various sets from the 8 that are included in the release. And you have the opportunity, by participating in the hop over the next 4 days, to have a chance to win the entire collection of all 8 stamp sets. So from now through Wednesday, April 16th, if you go to each of the stops on the hop, subscribe, comment, and give their hop video a thumbs up, that will get you entered in for a chance to win. And then on Thursday, April 17th at around 5 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time, we'll announce the lucky winner here on the Sweet November Stamps video description. So this is where you'll want to come back to look to see if you're the lucky winner. And then once the winner is announced, they have a week to get back to us to claim the prize. And it's all good from there. So today I thought it would just be fun to take advantage of all the cute little Fairwees that we have in our newest Fairwee Twirl 6x8 stamp set to play with 3 different color combinations, Copic color combinations for their skin tones. And I kind of challenged myself to do that, not using the E000, E00, and E11 that I think a lot of us kind of rely on, especially for more Caucasian skin tones. So I've omitted those, and we're going to be working with a few of the other earth tone markers to create some skin tones for our little cuties. I have already colored up this background and the little branch that they are dancing on, so that we can get straight into coloring the skin. And once I have the skin all colored up, then we will just, through the magic of editing, speed through the rest of the coloring of the fairies until we have a finished card. So let's jump in with our first little fairy over here, and we're going to be creating a light Caucasian skin tone for her. And we are going to be starting this one with an E50. So I'm just going to get a nice little base coat down. And I'm just going to go over all the exposed skin on this little cutie, like so. And now I'm going to come in with, I'm going to do, E04 is going to be my darkest, but it's too dark all on its own. So I'm going to do some tip to tip between it and the E21. So I'm going to use the E21 to pick up the E04 to give me my darker shadow line. Don't forget under the hemline of the skirt and along the back side of the leg. And this technique just allows me to get just a slightly lighter version of the E04 than it would be using it all on its own. And then I'm just going to continue to use that E21. We'll pull out. From the darker side of the face towards the front where it's getting hit by more direct sunlight. So this E21 is kind of replacing the E11 that I would probably normally be using at this point. And now I'm going to come in with some YR00. To extend out from the E21. It gives you a little bit more of a peachy tone rather than a kind of pink tone that you get with like the E00. And then the YR000. Complete that. And while that ink is nice and wet, I would like to add a little bit of blush to the cheeks. R00 and then some R20. Back in with that triple, YR triple, to soften our blush a little bit. There we go. And then I want to bring in that E50 one more time, just to kind of smooth out the blends. There we go. Very cute, and that'll brighten up just a little bit as the ink dries. So there's our light skin tone. And now we're going to move on to our medium skin tone. And we are going to use that YR00 again. It's going to be our lightest in this instance. So it's going down as kind of a base coat over her legs and arms. Now I am going to use the E04 as my darkest, and we'll just use it straight as is since we're going with a slightly darker skin tone. Just bringing that around, letting it taper out as it comes towards the front of the face. I've kind of decided on a kind of face forward light source so that, you know, she's getting, her darker shadows are falling more to the left, hers are going to fall more towards the right, and then hers will be on either side here in the center. All right, next I'm going to come in with some E13 to pull out that E04. I'm going to be pretty generous with this one. Give her a nice suntan. Going to that E21 that we used on our previous little cutie. We're going to be filling in most of the skin tone that's left with it. And then back to the YR double that we started with. She is looking quite sun-kissed here. Of course, she needs a little bit of blush on those cheeks. R00, R20. I'm going to come in on this darker side with some E21 to help kind of soften our blush. And then we'll do the same thing on the lighter side using that YR 00. Just like so. Very cute. Okay. And then we've got our darkest skin tone on our cutie in the center. And we are going to start that one with some E21. And that's going to be our base coat color. jumping up to EO4. And it's going to kind of fall on either side of her legs, with her being in the center there. Back side of each arm. Okay. I'm going to pull out the EO4 using some E25. And then we'll go down to the E23. Just keep kind of whittling away at the lighter areas of skin as we build up our layers of color. And then I want to kind of golden this combo up a little bit. So I'm also going to bring in some E33. And that's just going to warm everything up a little bit. The E20s seem to be a little cooler to me. A little bit more of kind of a blue undertone or purpley undertone to that family, whereas the E30s seem to be a little bit more yellow undertone. So it's going to just kind of brighten up this overall combo. Then I'm going to go back to the E21 that we started with for our base. And just sweep that in wherever I've got a little light patch of color left. And you'll notice I kind of got it into her open mouth. I'm not too worried about that because I think I'm going to be kind of giving her a little, so we see her open mouth instead of teeth on that one. So we're going to get a little pink in there for a tongue. Speaking of pink, I wanted to add that in. Also a little bit of blush on the cheeks. Go ahead and fill in the mouth. And then I'm going to use the EO4 to kind of do the inside of the mouth, separate it from the tongue. There we go. Very cute. Yeah, looks like my EO4 might be a little tacky, but I think we successfully managed that. So we have a very light Caucasian skin tone. We've got our sun-kissed medium skin tone, and then our nice, lovely dark brown skin tone on our fair wee in the middle there. And I hope you enjoyed those kind of alternatives to the kind of traditional E triple, E double, E11 combo. And I will now just kind of speed through the rest of these fair wees until we have a finished card at the end. Enjoy! And here we have the completed card on its card base. I've added some of the little sequins from the new Meadowbirds sequin mix. Sprinkled them around our little dancing fairways to complete and add a little bit of sparkle and shine to this cute little card. And there we have it. So thank you so much for joining us on our Swing into Spring YouTube hop here at Sweet November Stamps. Enjoy the rest of the videos and stay crafty, my friends. Bye.